And so always good that we can have this time together. And I appreciate that as well. And I appreciate all of you, coming on board with us and this entire year of it now, really. This March represents that being a year and finding ways to engage and connect. And I thought today, one of the individuals at Temple Shir Shalom who helped us engage so well is our executive director, Brian Fishman. And not my typical guest or someone who's teaching and studying with us in a sense, but someone who's involved in our lives, in my life, Rabbi Daniel Cantor, and all of ours at Temple on a daily basis, minute by minute, getting everything done that we need done behind the scenes. And we never get to see him. And literally every single Monday morning musings, he's been with me behind the scenes with his camera off, listening to this and commenting afterwards and giving me good feedback as well. And he's helping so many of us at Temple. I thought it'd be great for all of you to meet him and to hear from him a little bit and hear what makes him tick and what's important to him. So welcome, Brian Fishman, formally to Monday Morning Musings.
So nice to be here with my camera and my sound on.
That's right. And from now on, if you're watching Monday Morning Musing, you can send him a message knowing he's there, as you won't see him. But anyway, so Brian, you started with us at Temple 2.5 years ago, August of 2019. 18. Sorry, my math is bad. 2018, 2.5 years. And why was this the right job for you at that time?
Well, at that point in time, I wasn't looking for a job. I was working for Star Treks. I loved what I was doing. Jeff Kretschmer, who's a member and a member of our board, was my boss. Great guy, great boss. It was all going well, but I knew that the job that I had was pretty physical and a fair number of hours, and it was something that I wasn't going to be able to do until the end of me working. And my wife Josie and I happened to be talking to you about something having nothing to do with this, and you mentioned that you were looking for an executive director. And when we left, I said to Josie, "What about me?" And just chased it down from there. And really, the idea was, I had been a member here at that point for about 10 years. I had been somewhat involved. I was at all the food, fun, and fireworks, taking pictures. I was set up for the Project 613, taking pictures of the members, scribing their letter or with the scribe and doing their letter. So I had exposure here, and I loved this place, and it seemed like this would be a great place to be. So that's kind of how I got here.
Not to mention as well the joy of the simchas of Eliana and Keiki, your daughter's Benot Mitzvah, here over the years too.
Well, of course that, but that didn't really have anything to do with working here.
I want to just give you some nachas and some joy in that.
Appreciate
too. So
that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was really organic, that beginning, and how it fell into place from there. Would you say you were able to anticipate what this job has been when you envision what you've been taking on and stuff, and what it's become?
Well, I kind of thought the job was what it turned out to be in the broadest sense. I'm here to fill the gaps. I'm here to make sure that everything gets done, and when it gets done well, I get credit, and when it doesn't get done well, that's a different direction. I never could have imagined that this last year would be what it has been. And I've learned so much more about Temple, so much more about Judaism. You and I have joked about my Jewish upbringing and how it wasn't necessarily the cleanest path, I guess, for lack of a better term. But now I've been involved in services since the pandemic started. Every week I'm on them at least once, and I find myself singing Hebrew songs like in off times. It's a strange thing. But in terms of what the job is, I fortunately inherited a wonderful staff. I love everybody that's here. I think that we work well together. There's a lot of work to do. And I'm just here to make sure things get done. It's just this last year has been certainly different for everybody.
Right. For all of us. No doubt. What would you say you enjoy most about this experience? Not this just pandemic time, obviously. It's sort of rough to put anything in the context of this past year and the work we do, but obviously it all folds in together. What do you enjoy most about the work you get to do?
I would say probably talking to members, current members, potential members. I feel so strongly about Shir Shalom and the people here, and it's such a wonderful environment and community. And I start all those discussions off, well, not with the current members, but we're all here for the clergy. I mean, that's what drew us all in, it's just so easy and so comfortable and so meaningful. And of course, you and I had an interesting start to get to know one another. I couldn't leave this out, with our kids being in the same dance class and doing a number of daddy-daughter dances that were involved performances that we needed to learn over a period of Sundays. That was just really a lot of fun with a bunch of dads, and you just happened to be another dad. So it was an interesting way to get to know your rabbi, which was really nice and really meaningful, and not an experience I had had before.
A dad with a lot of good moves, let us not forget.
Of course, of course.
What would you say is the biggest challenge that you face in the work you want to do?
Well, again, that's different these days than it is in general. In general, I suppose all the time, it's just getting it all done. There's a lot of little pieces. I think when I started this job, I thought this is going to be easy. It's only going to be 40 hours. Well, that's not exactly true. And there's always stuff to do. And it's really just prioritizing and getting the most important things done when they need to get done. And this past year certainly has thrown a lot of wrenches into that, because nobody's in the building. So there's a lot of things that I end up doing that take me away from doing other things.
Yeah.
But we make it work.
Right. We're waiting for the doorbell to ring because you're the only one in the building right now. And that means you'll have to get up and open that door, or, buzz them in if it's somewhat appropriate, of course.
Right.
Okay. Thinking about throwing wrenches into things. Let's get rabbinic on you. What's most meaningful for you in your Judaism, in your Jewish life? What does being Jewish mean to you?
It's funny. That's kind of changed over the years. It used to just be really being part of a Jewish community, and I was born and raised here. I know a lot of people here. When I was a kid, I was very active in AZA. I know a lot of people that way, and I've just been around to work bar mitzvahs for many years, and it used to be really just being part of the community, but being at a temple, having everything revolve around the holidays. I'm much more aware of all of the holidays as they're coming up, and the traditions and just different customs that go along with the holidays that maybe weren't so celebrated in my earlier life. And so it's just sort of taken a different flavor. I have a different appreciation for a lot of Jewish things, a different understanding of them from my exposure here.
Excellent. I like that. I like your being exposed to all of that.
Yeah.
It's definitely good stuff. What's your hope for, one, what you're able to accomplish and do in this role as you grow the role? Like, there's no doubt for us, we see you growing with the role and coming into it more and more, and taking on that responsibility with it too. What's the hope for you? And then what's the hope for our community, for Temple Shir Shalom?
Well, I do think it's definitely a role that I will continue to grow into. And my hope for here is just to constantly be making things better, either more efficient or more enjoyable, or both. One of our core values is to have fun at work, enjoy what we're doing, but it's still work. And, it takes some effort to get it into a format where things are fun. But I think we've got a great staff, and I think that it is definitely doable. My hope is my hope for myself is that I continue to be productive and continue to contribute and help things along here. And obviously, health and happiness for my family. I've got said all along through this through this pandemic that this could have been a whole lot worse. I'm fortunate in what I have. I'm fortunate that I have this job, that I've had someplace to go or something to do every day. And what I had said in the beginning was the people who were working a lot, and the people who weren't working, and neither one was really good. But it's nice that I've had that. My family's been healthy. My kids are old enough that hasn't really been a challenge as it would have been had they been in school and trying to work from home and all of that. So I just feel fortunate.
Yeah. Well, we feel fortunate that you're part of this team, right? And have given us a lot of support and a lot of strength as well. And I think our congregants, and I've heard this from members who've had a chance to talk to you on the phone, whether they've had a need or a concern or something to resolve, and how you've been there for them. And it's great that you're able to do that. And that's sort of the reason why I thought it would be fun for people to see you and meet you in this context, because we want our members to be able to reach out to you as well, right? And to help solve the challenges that are connected to temple and stuff too, whether it's just in figuring something out with the bar bat mitzvah, or for a wedding, or for something with Shoresh, that you're a resource for us all and helping with that too. And that's really what our vision of what an executive director is that you're running the business and helping with that, but it's a compassionate business. As you referenced our core values, one of them is the idea that we bring joy into what we do all the time, right? We should tell everyone our core values also are about dreaming big, right? About going above and beyond, and what we want to do for one another too. And it's not just how we operate as a staff, but it's how we connect with our members and make sure of that too. And look at the future and what the potential is too, and what we want to see. There's been, a lot of, in the midst of the challenges, we've really grown, I think, in understanding ourselves and understanding our strengths as a congregation, as a community. And that's sort of been our silver lining within that too, knowing how difficult that's been for a lot of us and a lot in our community, but that we've been able to work on this together and figure that out together. So I know that we all feel that way, having you as a part of that. It means a lot. So this is a chance for us to say thank you and Monday Morning Musings.
Well, I feel very fortunate to be part of this wonderful team. Really, everybody is great, and I'm happy to be just on that same bus.
Good. In the right seat too.
In the right seat.
Yes. Thank you, driver. So, it takes me to what I want to talk about. It's coming up as well. Like I said, we celebrated Purim this past week. And for us, Purim was the last time we were together as a community, and the recognition of how our world sort of shut down. And it's been really a year now, and how remarkable that is, unbelievable that is. And none of us could have ever anticipated that as well. And that being the case, this next Friday, March 6th, 5th, Friday night is one. We're making this Friday two things. One is Resiliency Shabbat. So the idea of that we've been able to learn, grow, get through this, and experience this together with my dog in my experiences of services as well. Thank you, Addison. And number two, it's also nationally highest Shabbat, a refugee Shabbat. Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society, HIAS, is an amazing organization. And so we've connected with them internationally. And really, the idea of the refugee experience is a part of that resiliency too, and connected. And it's why it's sort of appropriate for us. So it's just going to be something on our minds, in our prayers, in our thoughts. So that's one shout out there too. I just, before we started today, someone at Temple mentioned to me that his wife is in surgery right now, and he's in the waiting room. And so he's a part of Monday Morning Musings watching right now. So maintaining privacy, I just want you to know that Misha Baraks are going out, prayers of healing to our friend who's in surgery, our congregant, and that we know she's going to be okay and get through this very soon and heal well. So just know we're thinking of you. And that's what we do as a community. We keep doing as a community. And you guys see Rabbi Daniel, me, Cantor Penny in front, praying, sharing, teaching, offering, but we couldn't do it without Brian and our staff behind us, supporting us. And they're sort of the unsung heroes at Temple Shir Shalom. So today, in the midst of this year anniversary, for me was a moment to sort of dedicate it to those unsung heroes at Shir Shalom, led by Brian Fishman, our executive director. So thanks, Brian, for all the great work you've been doing and continue to do, and for being a part of this awesome team. It means a lot to all of us.
Thanks for having me. It's been great.
Awesome. So let's make it a good week. Please stay safe, everyone. And we'll see you later this week for a lot of great things that are on our calendar.